Happy Wednesday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell. And I was thinking about why is the Funkete Teers Ball so quote unquote important to me? What is the significance of the Funkete Teers Ball to where I look forward to it so much? Of course, the easy answer is, oh, it's fun. No, that's too generic and not deep enough answer for me. Because I just don't be liking everything. And when I really like something, I want to know why. And for some reason, I really liked it. It hit me that, hey, you kind of into this Funkete Teers Ball thing. And one reason I thought, a quick thought was, because I turn up. Funkete Teers Ball, I turn up. It's like, this my ball. Don't get weird. I said ball, not the plural. I remember that time, and I forgot about it kinda, that Frankie Cashwati was hosting or emceeing, and he opened up the proceedings, and he said, he does this chant, that we all know back here in LA. And so he started it off, and I'm sitting in the front row. I'm already wired. I'm just lit up. My energy is all over the place. I'm sitting like front row because my table's down front. Not too many people down there yet. The front of the stage is empty like it always usually is. And so I'm just out there dancing because they playing P-Funk music. And since I don't listen to P-Funk music, when I actually do hear it, I just let it turn me out. So the whole thing starts off, with me walking in there. I know most of the people. I'm just lit up. And I'm sitting there dancing. They playing music that I've rarely, if ever, have heard on a large public address, public system, P-Funk stuff. And I'm just comfortable in it. I'm just in my zone. That might be one reason. And he says, all right, I'm gonna start this off. We're gonna start this off the way we used to do or something like that. He said, and you know what? I'm not, and that's all I heard. That's all I remember heard. I blacked out after that. And I just jumped out my chair and I ran down there and I said, wee. I remember it was literally like I blacked out. It was like, as soon as he said, you know what? I ain't even gonna, and I just jumped down there, wee. One, the phone. Led the whole crowd doing that. And I could hear my voice bouncing off the walls of that place. And I could feel the impact that my voice had on the room and the cadence of it. We won the phone. I remember that. That was good. I got a lot of memories. Another memory that comes to mind is when Dim Jones was hosting some talk or symposium or something. And, of course, I remember seeing his name in the liner notes, him and Overton Lloyd and all them. Over the years. Oh, no, when I was younger. And then over the years, I met Mr. Lloyd and, met all the P-Funkies. And finally got to meet Dim Jones. I was like, oh, okay, he did this, he did that. I remember, he was, I remember seeing that name growing up. Then he got up and doing his talk and he was like, he said something like, you know what funk is? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, something. He said, you know what funk is? He said something like, funk is fun with a K. He said, you know what the K stands for? I was like, be careful. You talk about taking ownership. I ain't gonna lie. And I know one day I'm gonna be humbled. One day I am going to be humbled. But when it comes to that music, that's my goddamn music. Can't nobody tell me shit about P-Funk. Because I guess in my mind, I know, number one, I've always said funk can only be defined by one unto itself. So my P-Funk ain't got to be like nobody else's. My P-Funk ain't got to be like nobody else's. It ain't got to hear no rules, My idea of what it is the only thing that counts in my mind, and that ends at the tip of my nose. So when he said, funk, you know what funk is? Funk with a K. I was like, be careful. And he said, you know what the K stands for? And I was like, in my mind, I was going, do you? And he was like, the K stands for kindness. He said the K stands for kindness. And I don't know if the word is arrogant or ego or whatever it was, or I'm just comfortable being around these people, or I'm just gonna say whatever the hell's on my mind. I was like, no, it don't. And I said this before, the way I said it even shocked me. It just came out of me. I mean, for me, I'm sitting in a room. You can't say something about P-Funk that I don't agree with for me to keep it in. I can't. It's just gonna come out. And I ain't trying to, disrespect anybody. I ain't trying to, be all, troll or whatever, mean or whatever. That shit's just gonna come out. I can't help it. That's why I can't listen to P-Funk in a normal day. It turns me out. It gets me going. There's no restraint. There's no restraint when I listen to P-Funk, and I don't want there to be. It's uncut, it's pure. It just comes out. When that music comes on, or I'm in that zone where it's P-Funk anything, that's my time. That's my side of the stage. And I'm King Kong on my side of the stage. And so he said that. I was like, no, it don't. Even the way I said it, I feel like I should smack my own self. You have to say it like that. But, all due respect, we didn't talk about it, went into it. I was saying how Funkate got the, kindness. I was like, name one kindness thing in funk. And then Gary Scheider got in and he said, yeah, he got a song called Funk is Fun with a K or something. And the K is for kindness or something like that. And I listened to that song and a drop of kindness in that song. The tone, the mood, the tempo, everything. And a drop of kindness in it. Maybe I got the wrong idea of kindness. And maybe I'm not a fan of kindness. I'll even go as far as to say that. I'm not a fan of kindness. I'm a fan of execution and getting it done and the best output, maximum efficiency based on scientific or whatever determined experimental kind of outputs, not no kindness. Oh, and I don't know if people songs start with kindness anyway. But anyhow, not that it's bad, it's because it doesn't have kindness in it doesn't mean it's anti-kindness or hatred or nothing. It's just platonic, it's just flat. It's not a point. It's a moot point. Kindness is not a moot point when it comes to funk. Man, because I have a severe idea of what funk is. But that was good. Let me see the other memory of the Funkete Teers Ball. Oh, we had the driver, and we was going to the trivia symposium thing at another location from the hotel. And I think George Darden or the Chocolate City Alliance, I hope I'm saying that right, Chocolate City Alliance, is that it? They had a bus for us. And we was messaging back and forth. I was messaging back and forth with Mr. Darden, because we got kind of like twisted and didn't know where to go. So in the van was me, Sonia, I think Sandra was in there. I don't know if Janet Cousin was in there. Robert Dixon was in there. We drove that man crazy. It was so funny, oh my God. It was just, we drove that man crazy. We couldn't find a place. Then we ended up walking around, hanging out in the bar with Elijah's cousin, Wendy. And Mr. Hampton was in there. I come walking in, I see Mr. Hampton, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. This was like when me and Mr. Hampton was kind of breaking the ice on our quote unquote relationship. Because our relationship used to be a little bit tenuous. I didn't understand Mr. Hampton's antics on stage. And, to get to the end of that story, once they were gone, I missed them. I understood what they were about. And if you don't know what I mean by Mr. Hampton's antics on stage, that's good. You don't maybe not need to know. But that little antagonism or whatever, it was gone. And I was like, oh, okay. But it struck me funny because it was even like when Glory Holly Stupid, years before I even knew, even though I read the Glory Holly Stupid record, Mr. Payne was up there disrupting the show. And it was pissing me off. I thought he was like really high and messed up and out there just, messing up the show. And this was like maybe the second time I seen P-Funk. And the first time I saw him front row, where I was standing there maybe 20 feet from Greg Thomas. Standing, bending him like 10, 15 feet from me. And I'm looking at the stage and it's Glory Holly Stupid. And they got the big egg up there and all that. And Mr. Payne running around messing with the speakers and doing stuff. And the band was like pushing him away. I thought this shit was real. It made me mad. I forgot why I went down that road. But it's something about disrupting. Oh, Mr. Hampton disrupting the show. I'm like, why is you? It's too precious for you to be messing around like that. So I didn't understand that. And plus, at the time, I was working with his cousin, Mr. Curry, and they were real close. And it was, like that. We had a weird understanding of each other, I guess. Well, at least I don't know. But anyway, so I saw him in the bar, and then we started talking and stuff. So his cousin was there, Cleveland, see, that's the kind of people I come from. Just, not loud and drunk, but boisterous is the word. And I ain't gonna say drunk, but having a good time. Just, hey, what's up? Just talking shit. I ain't talked that much shit in years. I had to get my shit talking game back on. And she started talking, it was this, we just there. We kind of just took 100, threw 100 on the table. Get what you want. One of that kind of, we just go back and forth talking about Cleveland. I was like, Lodge? Yeah, I know Lodge. Lodge my cousin. I grew up with Lodge. I said, I'm gonna text him right now. He said, you text him then. That's why I sent the picture of me and Wendy to Lodge, and Mr. Hampton was there. I think he got him shrimp and lobster. Everybody was just drinking, just having a good time. Just lots and lots. And then another one ended up in Janet Cousins' hotel room I think it was after the Funkete Teers Ball. It was like one of the after parties, come to find out. I went to bed and they had another after party after I went to bed. We was just sitting in there. They was in there drinking jump juice. I think I was smoking at the time. And I think it was me, Janet Cousin, Rufus, Mark Mallory, and Propel was in there. I think we were just sitting there, and we were sitting there in the dark. It was the dark, and she had this like little $5 disco light. And the music was just set at the right tone, and the light, it kept it dark in the room, and the light just kept it animated, and it was just so it was just so relaxing, and I remember that, and we just talked about this and that, and I remember how it being dark and not having that light on made it much more pleasant, and because we were tired, but it was just so cool just to be in that thing, where you could kind of relax but still be there. That was good too. And I guess the other time, I think it was the first time I heard the Clones of Funk. I think it was the first time I heard the Clones of Funk. I'm pretty sure it was at a Funkete Teers Ball. And I think I need to make somebody needs to make a formal list of the dates and times of the Funkete Teers Ball and who played them. Because I could have swore the Brothers of Funkaside played one. But I'm not sure if that was at the Ivy Room or, because I know they did another show or something like that. But I just can't remember. But I think it was the first time I heard the Clones of Funk play. And I was sitting and listening to him, and I was like, And I turned to, I think Julia was standing next to me, and I was like, they better than P-Funk. I was like, they better than P-Funk, what the hell? And then over time, I've come to clarify that to what that meant. But before that, Julia was like, all right, give me, you got to come tell them that. And I was like, well, I said it. I guess I got to tell them. And this was right before I met, the Clones of Funk, Wesley, Terry. I called you Terry, not Tur. Terry and Mr. Woods and all of them and the other cats. Oh, then afterwards, we went to a bar and I met the rest of them. Half of them, I don't even know their names, but I know them. We see each other. I was like, I don't even know their names and stuff. But I went back then. I was like, okay, I said it, so I can stand behind it. And by the time, I got backstage, got to talk to him, I had it kind of formalized how I could, best put it. And I said, y'all, I said, what the hell was that? I said, y'all better than P-Funk. My God, and that's when I actually told him. And then I think that might have been the start of, that may have really helped boost my Funkete Teers Ball relationship, getting in and going like that. And then later, over the years, I was able to clarify what I meant by that, is that the Clones of Funk, what the Clones of Funk do, and what P-Funk does, the mother band does something different. It's two totally different things. Like the difference between P-Funk and Zap. Zap opened up a P-Funk one time in Pittsburgh. I was like, how the hell is P-Funk gonna follow this? Jesus Christ. Zap turned it up so bad, Mr. Clinton had to come out and get some. Zap had that whole place just gone. Even I was gone. And they broke out of some California love. I just lost it. I was like, oh my God, that California, I'm up here in Pittsburgh, throwing up my W like I'm from LA or something. Oh my God. And P-Funk came out, and I made a video after that. I was like, how the hell is P-Funk gonna follow that? But then I realized P-Funk came out, and they did what they did. Two totally different things. P-Funk came out, kind of slow like they always do. Like the Russians said, looked like they just woke up. Looked like they just woke up and come dragging in. And they kind of set up, they got on their book bags and their regular gear and stuff. And it's kind of, then they just start, and they do what they do. And it's a different thing. And it takes you a different place and it has a different feeling. So, and that's what I realized was going on with the Clones of Funk. Because the Clones of Funk was playing the music more closer to the record. So I'm sitting there and I'm hearing vocals from over here and guitar riffs from over there, just like the record. And it took me back. What P-Funk does, they play P-Funk in a different, I guess some people say jam band style or whatever style. It's different, because the knee-deep P-Funk play is not knee-deep. It's something else. In fact, I listen to Knee Deep when P-Funk played it years ago, like 30, 40 years ago, and even, it's different. It's definitely different, the speed and all that tempo, but it's just the essence of it. To me, P-Funk is, and today P-Funk is, ding, 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 ding. And like I said, P-Funk, Knee Deep is still my probably all-time favorite song done live, even without the sentimental journey part. Oh, another thing, Funkete Teers Ball. Tony Cam. Tony Cam was another one. I met him at the Funkete Teers Ball. And I was like, and for whatever reason, I was like, who was this little kid? He older than me. I'm like, who is this young cat coming up here talking all this? I mean, just, blah, 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 blah. I was like, I was polite. I wasn't like, I was like, who, Next thing I know, he the king of the Funkete Teers Ball. And then what he doing down in Lynchburg, and oh my God, he's just like a dynamo. Just watch it. I woke up Facebook, look at my feed, see what else he doing here, make me tired. Comic books, helping kids, school, orchestras, just kids playing instruments and bands and hotels. I'm like, dude, I'm tired, man, stop. I'm tired of even watching you do stuff. But in his command and determination and focus, it takes a managerial type direction. You gotta have orchestration. You can't make omelets without breaking some eggs. And this thing just don't happen. They just don't come together. You just don't look in the sky and go, and love and the partnership and hugging and bunnies and rainbows just don't produce nothing. Somebody needs to get out there in action. You need to have serious, focused, dedicated action behind that. And that's what I see him, what he's doing. And one day he gonna get me down there for that New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is special to me. New Year's Eve is special to me, but he doing some stuff. Make me gotta fly to goddamn Lynchburg of all places. Gotta fly to a real airport, then drive 3 hours to get there. But it's gonna happen one day, cause it seems like all the Funkateers go down there. And oh my God, I ain't even talking about all the Funkateers I made. But anyway, so, and then I remember meeting him there and he was telling me this and telling me that. And then Mr. Cam, he hosted one year. And to see he'll do stuff and how he put the stage together and all this and all that. It's just, oh God. I do love me some Funkateers Ball. I do love me some Funkateers Ball. And then coming back and meeting everybody in the lobby. Cause I used to go to church conventions with my family. And you know, you get to the hotel, you start running into people. So you seeing people get out their cars with their hair and rollers and, you know, dressed in their travel clothes. You know, they ain't all, you know, all, you know, ready for church or dolled up. They just like, you know, looking like regular folks. And then, you know, later that evening, you see them ready for the service and dressed the same way with people. You come in, you start seeing people, especially now with Facebook. You know people, but you don't know them, and you haven't seen them. That part, that's a whole other part of the Funkete Teers Ball. That's a whole other part. Seeing everybody from all around the country, all around the world even, come. Hop Sauce came from, I call him Hot Sauce, Hop Sauce, Hop Sass, or whatever his name is, came from Germany and met him and, you know, and all that. And Matt, I think Matt Bragg, I forget his name, from Australia. See him every year or so often there. And Ballard, I think, does Ballard come from somewhere else or didn't he move or something? I forget it. There's just so many people with the camera, with that super good ass camera. Woo, he got some pictures of me. That beautiful ass camera. And so that's another whole part of it. You know, meeting people, seeing people. You know, it's just like one big giant, I ain't gonna say love fest, because I don't like the word, but it's like one big come together, you know, like a Motor Booty affair. You know, we just gonna raise Atlantis to the top and we get out there and do it. And, you know, it's just good. It's just good. And the funk trivia, oh God, the funk trivia, where they be cheating. Oh, the funk trivia last year was good. And it's like funk trivia is the team of cheaters to get together every year. And they, I give it to them, I can't deny it. They're like undefeated for like 5 years. You know, Mark Mallory and them. I don't even want to say who on their team now. I ain't even gonna say their names, happily, because I forgot them on purpose. But they're there and they have, and you know, some of the questions good. Last year, we had kind of broke it up and had it a little bit different, but it ended up kind of, it was done differently, but it was kind of the same. But Robin Denson and them did it from their funk trivia that they do wig out something that they do. And the questions was for real this time. Not that they wasn't last time. Not that the question wasn't real last time. But this time, they was for real, for real. And we had a dude on our team. Of course, it's a white cat. Gotta have a white cat on your team. He kept us in there. Him and Robin kept us in there because they knew some stuff. They knew some stuff. He was kind of soft-spoken. I was like, no. You speak up. I was like, we got to hear what you got to say. You know. I was probably the loudest and most obnoxious. But I knew that I wasn't the one with the knowledge. So I just put my energy towards that part of our team, you know, and let them focus on the cerebral part, the knowledge. And I kept the other team, you know, on guard or at bay or distracted or whatever. I just kept mixing it up and making sure, you know, that we stayed on point, kind of like that. But it was good. The trivia's good. And, you know, dinner at the Bethesda place, I don't know what the hell it is. You order online, I think they get takeout. I think they do DoorDash. It seems like they do DoorDash. But every year, I'll go ahead and spend some money and get some food. It's good to, you know, have some food sitting down there. You know, I don't drink, so I just, you know, I get drinks or, you know, sodas or whatever. It's nice to eat their wings and whatever, French fries, you know, while you sit down there. You know, I set up my little recorder and out there clowning before the show starts. There's usually a DJ in the front of the pit, the open pit in front of the stage is usually open. So I got all that room to myself and the music is just pumping. You know, everybody just come in, they get in their seat. You know, I go right down to that big, beautiful, empty spot, listening to my P-Funk music. Oh. And that's even, and as soon as you walk in the lobby, down the stage is usually there, and the people selling stuff. Kevin Fitzgerald and them. And this, you know, George Arden and all them, and his wife is, you know, he should probably be in there getting set up and getting the ticket. And the ticket guy, I even mess with the ticket guy, because he's telling us we can't, when I'm smoking the Black and Mild, he said, don't smoke in front of the building, because, you know, there's ordinances or something now, and the people around it complain about the smoke. You know, they got, you know, business establishment things to worry about. So me and him go back and forth about, and it was like no ins and outs or something like that. I was like, how the hell is that gonna work? I was like, how you gonna have no ins and outs? You know, me and him go back and forth every year. And you walk in, people selling stuff, people setting up, and every year, you know, except for that time Jim Jones set up, I bought some stuff off him I was able to buy and then bring back, because I usually don't bring a carry-on. So I'm like stuffing stuff and trying to get stuff, thinking about can I ship this stuff? But I got a couple of pictures of stuff off him. And I think he took a break, and Rufus Thompson was selling his stuff, or, you know, holding while he took a break. Somebody was there, I can't figure who it was. One of them was, and he was like, I was like, how much is that? He was like, $10. I was like, Now I didn't know the price. Had I known the original price, I would have said something. But I didn't know the original price, but I knew it wasn't no damn $10. I said, give me all of them. And then later he came, Jim Jones came to me and said, hey man. I was like, yeah, I know, here. I gave him, you know, some more money. I was like, I'm fair, you know, but like I said, I don't lie, but I'll cheat. You let me cheat, I'll cheat, but I won't lie. And so since I didn't know what the real price was, I was like, loophole, even though I knew it wasn't no $10. I was like, and I got the pictures on my wall now. So I actually went a few times, I bought stuff and it was hell getting it back. It was hell getting it back. So I got to figure out a way to do that. I don't know, because I got to start, I want to bring stuff back, but I ain't paying for no carry-on. Well, yeah, I guess it depends on who I fly. Spirit, you got to pay. And they get you with personal items and blah, 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 like that. So, you know. But you come in and start seeing people, you start seeing people at the hotel, people running. I'm on my way to the place. You see people running going up to their room, hair still in curlers or whatever, getting ready to get dressed, you know. And I'm like, I'm already going there, and they still going to get ready. I'm like, okay, but they're right, because I'm going to test it early, I go early. And then you're always waiting for the entrance of the great Larry Funkster Jones to come in. Seeing him, you know, what he gonna have on, how he gonna hit us and all that. And they have they have a best costume contest. He don't even get in it anymore. And I don't blame him, because it'd be hands down. That thing he had on last year, it lit up and all that. I was like, that was it. That was, and the hair, the little stringy hair, whatever. It's just good. I guess and there's a lot more to it. I guess I really do love and appreciate the Funkete Teers Ball more than I really thought. You know, and then like last year, I think Gabe Gonzalez DJ'd Friday night. So there was something to do Friday night. Now I ain't got no problem with doing nothing Friday night. You know, I ain't got no problem being in my room, pizza place right behind the hotel. Go over there, get my wings and my pizza. CVS up the street. I walk up the street. You know, if I gotta get steps or whatever, there's CVS there. I usually walk past the venue, get my picture, like a day early, you know, the marquee, Funkete Teers Ball, and all that. So I got the routine down. Parking garage, should I get a car? Behind the parking garage behind the hotel. It's free after 10 or something, so I just pay the hours that I put it in there up until 10. And last year I got an early check-in. I was able to check in like 8:30 in the morning, which kind of ruined my plan to go to DC. And usually when I go to DC and I come back and I get back later, I don't have to pay as much. And I gotta I gotta make sure I cover those 10 hours before 10 o'clock Friday when it becomes, Friday night when it becomes free. Then I think you gotta pay for Saturday or something. Something like that. The price went up or something. But you know, at that point you're like, whatever. You know, at that point you just gotta let it go. You know, just go with it. But, oh, it's so good. It's good. And meeting Frankie, Mr. Waddy in the lobby and people coming in, seeing everybody. And you walking around, see Mr. Hampton walking around and just hanging out. It's just good. It's really good. And it's just hitting me now how special it is for me, you know, to be there and to be a part of that. I mean, this is funk. This is P-Funk. This is my P-Funk. And I say that jokingly, really that time. That time I'm really just saying it. But there was a time when it was my P-Funk and I really meant it. And up until recently, and Funkin was one of them who really showed me that there's other people who like funk too. There's other people who are in it deeper than you are. And for a long time, I hadn't met nobody like that. For a long time, it took something to prove it, for me to accept that, to realize that. Because we all into it our own different ways. And for one to say one's in it deeper than the other, it's comparing apples and oranges, probably. Because once again, funk can only be defined by one unto itself. You can't tell me what my funk is, I can't tell you what your funk is. So, but when I saw Funkin, the way he was doing it, and where he took it, and what he did, I was like, whoa, okay. And like the first online internet P-Funk thing I met was Keith Jackson with P-Funk Radio out of DC, back when he had his show on Friday nights. That was 30 years ago, I guess. That's back when his bandwidth, I used to tell him, man, you gotta upgrade. It's like listening to it on an AM one speaker radio. Because the music he was hitting, but it just, you know, you listen to it on your stereo, but this was way back before, you know, things really got even going on the internet. But then he finally got upgraded. And he's part of the Chocolate City Alliance. Him and his girl, Brenda Robinson, who passed. Her, Bumblebee, and Julia come walking out with that mothership sign doing Swing Down Sweet Chariot. Corniest thing on the planet. But they better not stop doing it. I about to see that shit every year. That old corny ass mothership sign. And they come up moving it up and down like it's flying. Oh my God. I'm like, oh no. But now, better not miss it. I'll be upset. It's just good. It's just, I don't know who I'm missing or not missing. But if I'm missing, hit me up. I'll make a special video for you just how I feel about this whole event and getting there. And I've been here before, every year, getting that car, driving in. Google girl telling me which way to go. Well, I mute her now. Google Maps just kind of, you know, and I'm like, oh, I remember this, oh. And then when I get closer, I really remember, okay. You know, driving by the Naval Hospital and down the freeway and trees and stuff. And once I get really close, I'm Wisconsin Avenue. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I know where to go. That's what becomes like really familiar. And hopefully, or whenever we see, go to DC, they won't let me check in maybe. And then we'll go like that and we'll see. But I'm excited about it. I guess I'm excited about it again. I look forward to it more than I realized, I guess. You know, my Funkete Teers Ball, seeing everybody, hanging out, and just the experiences we had, seeing people that I've known online, seeing people that I've known online for decades, you know, popping up, tapping you on the shoulder, oh, ah! And they say, oh, I'm so-and-so. I'm like, whoa. And last year I saw, I think her name was Pam. She's from the Columbus Clones. And I was seeing her, and she was playing trivia. She played trivia that Saturday. And I was looking at her, and I was like, blah, 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 you know. And then at the show, she had her Columbus Clone shirt on, and that shit's 30 years old. That shit took me back. I was like, that's you? Oh my, because I met her when I went to shows in Columbus years ago. Well, maybe not 30, maybe like 20 years ago, the Columbus Clone. I was like, oh my God, you know? So that's always touching. And then of course you got Sandra Murphy, and Brooke Claggett, Joan Havaker. Who else? Well, them two, well, Sonia and Brooke is in a different clique than Joan Havaker. I don't know if she ever was in that after party thing that we try to run around and do after the shows, or Brooke be having us run around all over DC trying to find a place. Oh my God. And then to see them two in LA, they came out for the 420 Funk Mob show. So I'm seeing Brooke and Sonya in Los Angeles, and it's just kind of disrupted my universe because I'm not supposed to see them here. You know, and all those people, that's just, when I say those people, oh my God. Oh my God. So I guess this is why I get up, you know, and then we in the bar. I'm hanging with them Cleveland folks. Lisa Jenkins. You know, just that, I grew up with that industrial type strength and that tough, it's not even tough love, it's just tough. Lisa Jenkins gave me a gut punch. I said, you ain't partying. It ain't a party unless somebody gets gut punched. Them people, I tell you, that's Ohio. It was just so much fun to be back there. And George DaVinci's there, him and his girl April, be in the lobby too. And his drawings. Oh, it's just Jason Ryder cooking. I think he the one who do all the food. Yeah, I think he do the food. And I was so glad I just gave him, I forget how much I gave him. I just said, hey man, take this, man. Cause I ate, man, I took me a plate. I even think I might have brought some of that food back California with me. I mean, they had a little after party in the room, and then, like I said, the after party we had, Janet Cousin, she's like, Jeffery, you know, get to the point, Jeffery, can you go in there and get me a blanket? I'm like, just like family. I'm like, you sound like my mother or my sister or somebody talking about, can you hand me a blanket? You going in that room, can you hand me a blanket? I was like, yeah, because I'm just so used to it. It's like, it sounds like normal. You know, so I threw her a blanket. And she's like sitting there, and we just all in the dark. We just talking and just having a good vibe, just mellow. They was drinking. It was just a nice mellow vibe. And again, I gotta keep saying, the lights weren't turned on. We had this like disco light going around, so you could see people kinda, but you didn't have that glare of light or that I don't know, it's like distraction, that tension I don't even call it attention of a bright light. It just made that vibe so cool. And I went to bed. And I heard he said another party crew came in after we left. I was like, okay. And then the places we made it to after parties. I think it was the last year, the year before, with Crystal Ainge was there. Crystal Ainge was in there. I was like, whose sandwich is that? That big ass meatball sandwich of shredded beef or some kind of Philly cheese. I was like, whose sandwich is that? She's like, it's mine. Little 4 foot, 80 pound girl. I was like, what? Because out here in California, they don't eat like that. Them kind of, them little 4 foot, 80 pound girls don't be eating like that. She said she spent time in California, and she from Southeast. And I know about Southeast from growing up from college in the 80s. I grew up with a bunch of them Southeast shorties. I think it's called shorties. Talking about Love Boat and all that. I grew up with them, so I knew what she was, at Acosta, I knew what she was talking about, and she had spent time in California, so she had a very interesting mix of California, loving rainbows and Southeast. So, oh my God, it's just good. It really is good. It really is. Okay. All right. Woo! And that's just the Funkateers Ball. And coming up, I got some funk coming up now. I mean, next week. This week, shit. The day after tomorrow. Yeah, the day after tomorrow. Wow. Then after that, New Orleans. Anyhow, my name is Jeffrey Scott Mitchell. My name is Jeffrey Scott Mitchell. And I love every single drop of it. Every single drop. Swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the funk, and for the Funkateers Ball. Long live the Chocolate City Alliance. Long live the Funkateers Ball. And for every elementary particle that ever existed in any atom in this or any universe that ever was, is, or will be, a totality of it all, theory of universe, hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffery.